Hi, I'm your Broward County Property Appraiser, Marty Kiar, and I'm super excited to welcome you to another fantastic episode of Time to Care, a really great program where we talk about important issues affecting the wonderful people of Broward County. And I'm super excited about today's episode because you may not know this, but Broward County has a fantastic organization named Broward County Animal Care, and their job is basically to find forever homes for so many of our wonderful dogs and cats and fantastic animals that we have here. And I'm super excited because I have the fantastic director of Broward Animal Care, Doug Brightwell, with me today to really talk about the great work that they're doing, how you yourself can adopt a dog or cat, and also where they're actually taking animal care in the future in Broward County. So, Doug, welcome today.
Thank you, Marty. Glad to be here.
I have to tell you, I really appreciate the great work that you do. And I know you've been on the job now for about 2 years.
Yep, that's correct.
So would you mind just kind of explaining, where you're from, why you love animals so much, how you got this job, and what you think?
Well, I've been here about 2 years. I came on where I was previously director of Pinellas County Animal Services for about a decade before coming here. And then I also worked in animal welfare in Tennessee and private practice working at a large vet clinic.
Wonderful. I think that is just awesome. And when it comes to Broward County Animal Care, over the past 2 years, I think you've done a great job with it. Your social media has been excellent, and you all have been exceptionally successful in getting dogs and cats adopted. As a matter of fact, I think if I saw this right, last year about 3,900 dogs and cats were actually adopted by the people of Broward County. And if I remember, almost 700 lost dogs and cats were returned to their families. Why is that? Why is it getting better? Why are more cats and dogs being adopted? Why are more being returned? What's going on?
Well, we have a fantastic team in place from kennel staff, officers, PIOs, administrative staff. We work very hard. We've revamped all of our procedures. So when an animal comes in lost, the first thing we do, if it's got a microchip or a tag or any identifying information, we are going to work for that entire hold period. An animal that's owned has a 5-day legal hold period. So we work during that entire period, emailing, texting, phone calls to that previous owner every single day, trying to notify you that your lost pet is with us and try to get that pet back home to its family as quickly as possible, which is why we now have an increase of about 700 last year that went home, which is higher than we've done in previous years because we're really concentrating on that reunification part first. Once that's done, then we get the animals ready for adoption or rescue. And so we get them sterilized, we get them medically screened, we get them vaccinated and microchipped. And then our PIO team and our customer service team work really hard with the public to let people know the variety of animals that we have, let them know about the personalities through our social media and media outlets to let people know that we are an adoption destination now. We are not just the animal shelter where you go and drop off an animal. We are a place to come to find your new family member, get that new cat or dog into your home.
That's pretty awesome. I actually have a very important question for you before I ask anything else. And I think this is really important. Broward Animal Care has been around for a long time. And I think there may be some preconceived thoughts that many people have about Broward Animal Care that can bring them concerns. Yeah. People are afraid that if they rescue a dog or a cat and they bring them over, that dog or cat may be euthanized. And that's not going to be the case, but people don't really know that. And I was wondering if you wouldn't mind just kind of telling people what does happen when they drop off a dog or cat. Why should they want to bring the dog or cat over and not be concerned about it? What's the great work that you all are doing to kind of dispel some of those concerns?
We do not ever euthanize a cat or dog for time or for space. Right. We've had dogs that have stayed with us almost 2 years on the adoption floor waiting for their forever homes. Right. So that's the first thing is, despite the rumors that you hear, we do not make any euthanasia decisions based on time or space. If that animal's healthy and is not aggressive, it's just going to be there till it's there and adopted or rescued. Right. We do make euthanasia decisions based on health issues we cannot treat or correct. And for mostly dogs that are to behavior and pose a danger to public safety to people and other animals. In the last 5 months, our live release rate for dogs has been over 90%, which means that of all the dogs that came into our building, 90% or better of them left our building, either returned to their owners, adopted, or rescued. They were not euthanized. They were outcome out of our building into someone's home, or an organization that's going to help them get it back into someone's home. Our cats are a little bit more of a challenge because we deal with return to field programs for feral cats, the community cats that are not pet cats. And a lot of those come in sick and injured, and we have to, unfortunately, make tough decisions with that. But we have an overall release rate last year of 83% for our shelter-wide population. So that speaks volumes to the volume of animals coming in, and we took in over 9,000 animals last year.
That's wonderful. Well, I can definitely tell you one of my animals in my house is from Broward County Animal Care. And just quickly, I'll tell you the story. Her name is Maggie. And about, I would say 4 or 5 years ago, my youngest daughter came to me and said, "Dad, I really want a girl cat." And I said, "No way. We have a dog and a cat. We're good." And she goes, "Well, I'll make the middle name Marty." I go, "Okay." So because of that, she went there. It was a great experience. She adopted this adorable cat. Her name is Maggie Marty. She loves my daughter. My daughter loves her. And now, of course, we have 3 cats, but it is just a fantastic place. And I wanted to bring that up because the feeling that my daughter gets and my family gets by the fact that we were able to adopt Maggie, an animal that we just love so very much, that wouldn't be the case if Broward Animal Care wasn't as fantastic as it was and didn't give us that opportunity. And so I guess one of the most gratifying things of your job is when you're in there and you see these fantastic, wonderful animals getting adopted, going to loving homes, and just seeing the happiness that the people who adopt them have when they actually do it.
It really is rewarding, and the staff love it. We have a really nice facility. It's over by the airport. It's only about 9 years old. It's a much more welcoming environment than it was in our previous locations. It's bright and it's airy. The animals are accessible. Staff can answer all the questions that you need. And we really try to get you to visit with the animals and make the best fit match for your family so that pet, cat, or dog goes home and is a permanent fit for that family. Sometimes it's not always a permanent fit. And so we tell folks, if you've adopted from us and it's not a good fit, we prefer that you bring that pet back to us so we can try to find the right family for them instead of just not looking at us as an alternative for that as well.
That's wonderful, Doug. And if you wouldn't mind, can you please explain to folks, how can somebody adopt a dog? So let's say, for example, somebody watches this and they're like, "You know what, I'm going to get a dog or a cat for my family." Or if, just like what happened with me, if somebody's daughter or son goes to their parents and said, "I really want a dog or cat, how can I get one?" And they want to do the right thing and adopt, how would the process go?
Well, you can preview the animals we have for adoption on our website, on the browardcounty.org website, and through petfinder.com. You can come in and visit. Once you've made a decision on the animal is the right match for you, you see one of our customer service representatives. We have an adoption questionnaire that we go through, and we ask you some questions about how you're going to take care of the animal. Do you have the ability to do the vet visits and all those pet ownership things? And then we're going to give you some information that you need. We're going to give you the full medical history. Every cat and dog is sterilized. It's fully vaccinated and it's microchipped. The only cost right now for adopting from us is the $25 annual pet registration fee. The adoptions are free right now.
That's really fantastic. And, a couple other questions that I just think are really important. And well, first of all, before I ask you another question, I want to congratulate you because I just found out that Broward County Animal Care, the work that you and your staff has done, actually made you all this year the runner-up for the best animal care agency in the entire state of Florida. I think that is a really amazing thing, and you all should be commended. And that's under your leadership over the past couple of years. That is wonderful.
Thank you very much.
And the other question I have, and I know unfortunately, there's a lot of scams in South Florida. In our office, we deal with scams all the time. People trying to steal homes, things of that nature. But there's also scams dealing with animal and pets. And I think one scam that you were telling me about was people will get emails, for example, and they'll say, "Hey, your pet is over here at Broward Animal Care," or something of that nature.
Yes.
And they'll say, "Click on here, pay the fee, we'll get the animal back to you."
Yes, that's correct.
And people can fall for it. Can you just kind of elaborate on that a little bit? How people can protect themselves and how can they know that it's an email actually from you all, or if it's a legitimate website that they're going to?
First thing to remember is Broward County Animal Care is never going to send you an email or a text message asking you to make a payment to get your pet back. We may contact you by phone, text message, or email, notifying that your lost pet is at our facility with us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to ask you to come in and identify your pet in person and reclaim your pet to get them back home.
Mm-hmm.
We are never, ever going to send you a link or an email asking you to pay money ahead of time to get your animal back. Those are always going to be scams. They're not from us.
Excellent. And another question I have, actually, which I think is kind of interesting. You all just don't work in a silo. You actually work with lots of the people in the private industry, private adoption. How does that work?
We collaborate across the board with law enforcement agencies for enforcement and investigations. We collaborate with rescues and other nonprofit shelters for transferring pets from our facility to other places for adoption and rescue. We collaborate with agencies within the county, such as yourself, just to get the word out and educate as many people as you can, as we all can, about responsible pet ownership, our location, and our pet licensing requirements, which every cat and dog in Broward County is required to be licensed. It's a $25 fee if your pet is microchipped and rabies vaccinated. Just that plug in there.
Absolutely.
And we just find it very important that we work and be a partnership with everybody in the county, in the cities that we can, because it takes a team effort to be successful for responsible pet ownership and pet stewardship, and for keeping our communities clean and safe.
And so I can tell you, Doug, I think we're very blessed to have you at the helm over there. You know what? For me, I think we live in the greatest county on the face of the earth. We really do. I'm a little biased. I was born here, and one day I'll be resting peacefully here. I'm never leaving. And just like for many people, my animals in my home are my family members. And the fact that you and your staff work exceptionally hard to protect so many cats and dogs and animals, and to find them homes and to give them care when they need it, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And if you don't mind me asking, if somebody wants to bring an animal over to you all, they're concerned, maybe they've rescued an animal, what do they do?
We're open 7 days a week from 11 to 6 for animal intake. Cats and dogs only. If you have a dog especially and is healthy, a lot of times we might be full because of the capacity issues, because our shelter and all the shelters are under a strain, especially in springtime this time of year. Kitten season is coming. The dog population is kind of running at large. So we see an uptick in population in the spring. So you can give us a call. You can come by, bring the animal with you. We will do a loss listing if we ask you to foster the dog. If it's sick or injured, not healthy, we will go ahead and take that pet in so we can get it the medical care that it needs, because we have veterinary staff on duty 7 days a week as well. Same with cats. It is easier for us to take cats in because we'll take in the kittens and we'll take in the cats that are not like community cats and try to get them adopted. And then the cats that are living in the community, they're healthy, they're thriving, they're just intact and having babies. We're going to do what we call return to field, where we sterilize that cat, we vaccinate it for rabies, we'll tip its left ear so that visually then everybody knows this cat is vaccinated and sterilized. And then we will return it back to its home so it can continue to live and thrive and have a healthy life. You just won't have any more kittens coming into the neighborhood from that cat.
Absolutely. Well, I guess I really appreciate that. And I think that is just so important. And I guess my last question for you, Doug, is, I think if I were in your job, I think the hardest thing for me I would basically fall in love with all of these dogs and cats because they're just wonderful and they love you. And so I guess every single time one gets adopted, sometimes it has to be a little bittersweet because you've gotten to really love that dog or love that cat. They really got to know you, but at the same time, you're so happy that that cat or that dog now has a family.
It is much more sweet than it is bitter because we do get connected with a lot of the animals that come through our facility, but it brings you joy when you see that pet get connected with their permanent family and they leave and you see that bond forming. And then we know that they're going on to live a better life.
That's wonderful. Well, Doug, as I said before, I really appreciate your service and what you're doing for our county. And before we go, is there anything else you'd like to add for the people of Broward County?
Just remember, license your pets, keep them rabies vaccinated, and to come into our shelter over near the airport to visit and adopt your future pet.
Wonderful. And what's once again, the email or the website and the phone number?
We are browardcounty.org/animal for the website. And our phone number is, ideally, if you're calling in complaints, call 311, because that is to call in for enforcement issues. And then go to the website to preview the animals. And we have a lot of frequently asked questions and all of that on there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Doug. I really appreciate you coming on today. You do an awesome job. Thanks so much.